Stadium will be packed tomorrow, and that is how it was 64 years ago when war hero Arthur Turner ran onto the pitch with his Charlton Athletic teammates for the FA Cup final.
A massive achievement for most to play professionally at the home of English football, but for Arthur it was even more unbelievable because he'd survived an attack on his plane during World War II. Phil Bales went to meet him so he could tell us his story of FA Cup Day 1946.
That's one thing he was always aware of, you know, the crowd.
You could hear it.
Well,
Arthur Turner is in the Players' Tunnel at Wembley. 64 years ago, heart in mouth, he could hear the capacity crowd roar. This is his first view of the new Wembley, as tomorrow's FA Cup finalists will see it.
Oh dear, oh look. I just don't believe it. How many?
It's 90,000.
Now for some really serious sport. And here are just a few of the 99,000 people lucky enough to get into Wembley to watch it.
This was the Wembley atmosphere Arthur experienced in 1946. The legendary Twin Towers, the hallowed turf. Arthur played centre forward for Charlton Athletic against Derby County, with the background of the deafening Wembley roar.
It did grip me, but as soon as you started playing, it vanished. Completely vanished. And then when the play stopped, even for sort of, because the ball had gone out, or, you know, for throwing, it came back again. It suddenly came in on you. There was a background noise, always there. But you wipe it out completely when you're playing.
How did you manage to do that then?
I don't know.
But it wasn't Charlton's day. They lost 4-1. And unfortunately for Arthur, he didn't find the back of the net. But it was only because of a stroke of good fortune that he was there at all. As a rear gunner 3 years earlier, he'd been shot down in the Bay of Biscay, the only survivor of the crew of his Wellington bomber.
We went in a drink, but of course going down underwater, it sort of revived me and I came to. We always wore life jackets when we were flying, and that brought me to the surface again, and of course I saw a dinghy pop up about 20 yards away, and I got in the dinghy, and I was up to my neck in water.
It was 9 hours before he was rescued and went on to become one of Charlton's post-war greats. Now spanning the divide of generations, Arthur's grandson George is himself a promising striker, hoping to turn professional.
Wembley, George. Well, there ain't all that many made it. Only 22 a year make it on the, well, for the cup final anyway. Yep, I made it.
He certainly did make it, and he's gone well into extra time. At 89, he has every intention of coming back here again.
Even after all this time, it seems to me life could begin again at 90. I've got a lot more to come.
Phil Bales, London Tonight, Wembley.